I'm sorry if you guys are on. I'm trying to get myself back on my iPad. Here we go. Okay. Thank goodness. Hope you guys can reconnect. I did end that video quickly and tried to reconnect again, so it took a little bit. So I'm just kind of waiting for you guys to pop back on again. So sorry. I don't know what happened. Well, I'm going to keep talking because it is live now and it hasn't frozen. So the other thing that comes with this set is the Real Red ribbon, which is really lovely. And it has sparkles on one side. The other side is more matte. Thanks, Rhonda. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I had a glitch on my end. Must have been, since I lost everybody and my iPad froze up. Haven't had that happen in a very long time. And then the other item that comes with the suite are these beautiful flat sequins. I love these. It goes so well with this set. And you get, there's 240 of them on here. So you should be able to make a few cards with these. So anyway, well, let's hope Rhonda, everybody else can get back on. And then the last thing at the set is this beautiful embossing folder, which, whoops, let's turn it around so we got it the right way. So that completes the suite. If you buy the whole suite that includes the paper, the 2 sets of stamps and dies, and all of these items, the cost is $138.75. But of course you can kind of pick and choose what you want. I do that quite frequently, but this one I just was all in on. So anyway, let's get started with our first card. And I'm going to bring this over. So I'm going to set my sample up, and I think I'm going to put my reading glasses on. Might help a little bit. Well, gee, Rhonda, you're the only one back so far. Wow. Let's see. We are going to use these deer dots, they're called. This goes with another set that I will probably be demonstrating the next time. And I forgot to grab it out of the shelf so I could show it to you. Got some greens and a piece of white. I went ahead and already stamped the image and die cut it, and we will continue coloring it. Okay, so we've got a piece of, okay, Jean, come on, you can do this, pool party. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. A piece of Secret Sea that is, let me just double check, I think it's, yeah, okay, it's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and that's going to go right on here. Get this out of the way. And I am going to go ahead and glue this on so we can get that started. Okay. Oh, jeez. I hate when that happens. It used to happen frequently for me, but not so much anymore. All right. And then this piece, we are actually going to run it through the embossing folder. Where did I now put that? Oh, for pity's sakes. There it is. I shouldn't have tossed this stuff over so far because I'm going to use all of it. Okay, so the embossing folder, I'm going to run it through so that it's got more of a design on the bottom. This is going to be a landscape card. Try to center it in here so the sides are about even. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to run that through so it's right next to me. You don't have to get bounced around that way. All right. So here we have our image. And if you can kind of see that it is offset. And I can go ahead and mount this on here so we've got 3 pieces out of the way. And we'll work on our piece that is got the pattern, the flowers on it. Okay, I'll set that up there. So you might wonder why I have like 1.5. My intention is we are going to stamp this and cut it out and pop it up on top of this just to give it a little more dimension. So we will start with the red. 2-step stamping. This has a neat little cutout on the edge, which lines up right here and here on an angle. So it's going to go like, just got to get it lined up right, like so. So let's do that one first. I'm using real red. I can get this, trying to line up the other petals here. Like so. And I do that one that's underneath. I know I'm going to stamp this one and cut it out, but I don't know. I like it if it's got the color underneath as well, just so that in case you look at it from a side view, you are going to see that it's stamped underneath as well. And there's that one. Okay, get this open. Alright, put that aside. Let's work the rest on this. And then I'm going to take Petal Pink, I think it is. Or, no, excuse me, it's Bubble Bath. And we are going to stamp the flowers that have the tips, the pointed tips on them. And this one's fairly easy to line up because it's got one that's kind of rounded. And I think that would be this one right here. Yep. Okay. If you ever wonder how dark something is going to be, it's always good just to do a little test. And that looks good. Well, kind of bubbly. But I know that's all going to go away. And then there's one over here. Ah, come on, cooperate. Okay. Next we're going to take Pool Party. And we're going to do some leaves with the Pool Party. And these match up perfectly on here. Hopefully I'm not off camera. No, you can see me. Okay. This has 3 sets of them. Or excuse me, 5 sets of them. Guess I better go back to school and learn how to count. There. We're getting there. Then we've got a couple of little evergreen sprigs on here, on each side. And we're going to take Mossy Meadow for that. And I think I'm going to want to, yeah, I don't know. Let's try the spoon trick. Flip this around. See if that, otherwise I might end up going back to Granny, or Old Olive. I just got my finger in it. Glad I took a wet wipe out to begin with. Boy, I'm telling you, nobody else is signed back on. Alright, let's see how dark this is now. Oh, much better. I can go along with that. And we just sort of add these right in. Come on. Doesn't want to cooperate. Sometimes feel like I need to have a turntable on my desk. Especially when I'm coloring. Okay. I got that done. While we're letting that get set up good, I'm going to put that back. I don't think I need it anymore. I'm going to cut this out. Hi Nancy, thanks for coming back. Hi Carol, thanks. And Char, I'm glad you guys are all back. You didn't miss too much. But you know, you can always watch the replay. I discovered that I was frozen when I was showing the paper. And so okay. When I worked on this to begin with, and I had it that far, and I laid it on top of what I was going to use for my card base and layers, I did not like the way it looked. It was just too flat. It just needed a little something. And so that's why I thought, well, you know what, I think I'm just going to stamp that center part of the image and color it with the Real Red ink, and then just cut it out, and we're going to add it on top. So I'm trying to get kind of as close as I can to the lines without trying to go over. Almost done. I knew this was going to take the longest. And I went ahead and I ran the white paper that I had through the embossing folder. I'll show it to you. I don't know that you can see it. No, you can't. It's off camera. Oops, come on. So this is going to go down right in there. I ran it through the embossing folder with less at the top than at the bottom, because this is actually going to go near the top, and I didn't need to have all that extra. It didn't need to be centered. I wanted to have more of the greenery showing. Okay, so I still didn't like the way this looked. I'll pop this up right now so we can kind of look at it. And you can kind of see my thinking. Oh, and I did stamp this in Secret Sea. I neglected to say that. Sorry. Actually, I don't know if I need any more than that. Yeah, let's... Can I move that one over a little bit? Yes, I can. There. Okay. Oh, get it the right direction, Jean. Okay. I still thought it needed something. And I looked at the picture on the DSP and noticed that these little white flowers and this had some accents to it. So I'm taking my Flirty Flamingo colored pencil and we're just going to add a little bit of something here. Just some little lines coming up the petal to give it a little more pizzazz. I do this quite often where I will add a little something with a colored pencil or with a blend. You could probably do this with a blend, but I liked the pencil because it was a finer tip. So there we got that. And then I thought, okay, let's do something to these pink flowers, or the white flowers. So I thought, well, I'm just going to give it a little line around here. Give it a little something here. And I don't even know that I went over it with my blending pen. I might have. We will try the blending pen. Just on the edge of the petals. Not coming up from the bottom like the pink flowers are. Okay. And I do have a pen here. I'm just gonna... That kind of fills it in up to the lines if I didn't get it all the way up to the top. And I will bring this up, I missed one, to the camera so that you can get a better look at this. Are you telling that this is a little bit, is it a little bit closer for you this time? I did bring the camera down a little bit closer. I figured out a way of maneuvering it with my iPad attached to it that I could bring it down just a wee bit more. So I hope that you're able to see a little bit better. Okay, get this wiped off. Alright, so here's what we have so far. You can see adding the little extra pink in there gives it a little something. Okay. Next step was I wanted to add some of the evergreen. This is a big die, and I discovered I could use just a portion of this and it would be plenty to put one on each side just as a little filler. So I went ahead and I cut some out. As you can see, it's just a partial. And the other thing, when you're doing that, sometimes it helps if you take a dryer sheet and go over the die before you cut with it, and you're going to find that it pops out really easy. So I went ahead and cut two. Actually, I've got one longer than the other, and this one's like 2/3. And we're going to line that up kind of. Sure that it doesn't go past the edge of the card because I did that just slightly on my sample, but I think it'll still go in the envelope. Okay, I just want to get them lined up like so. Come on. Oh, for pity's sakes. That's good. Okay, I'll lift this up, and then I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to apply some on each side and just lay this down like so. Voila. And that is going to go right up here. And let's see, should I use the Stamp and Seal or should I use, yeah, I think I'm going to use the glue here. Yeah, I love this spray of flowers. I think it's so pretty. Just going to add just a little bit down towards the ends here. So that it lays down nicely. Come on, lay down there's nice. Do you talk to your stuff when you're making your cards and your paper? I do. Obviously. Okay, now we need a front sentiment. And I thought that I would take the, I love this Joy. And it's both a stamp and a die. And I just cut out the die for it. And so we've got this. And we've got this. And I cut one out in the silver foil. And I used the, just kind of left it in here. Okay, I used our great adhesive sheets. I put some of that on the back. Oh, what's on there? There is something on here. I think it's part of the adhesive sheet. I didn't want to get glue on it. Oh, that's fine. Okay. So my thought was I didn't want to try to figure out how to put dimensionals on the back. So I thought, okay, we'll just glue these together. And I don't think I put, no, I didn't. I only put the adhesive sheet on the back of the silver foil. So we're going to put this on here with just some dabs of glue. And I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to get this right on there. Okay, and get that glue off. All right, now what I'd like is a piece of paper. I'm ready to go with my scratch paper so you can see what I'm going to do. Otherwise it's a little difficult. Okay, so I'm going to take the adhesive backing off of this and I'm going to set this on so it's just a bit over to the left of the blue underneath so that you have that shadow. Just helps it pop. I added the extra piece of the white paper again just to give it a little more dimension sticking up off the paper. So let's see if we can get this off of here. There we go. Okay. a smidge over. There we go. Okay. And now I will put some dabs of glue on the back of this. Would have been smart if I would have used the adhesive sheets on all of it, but I didn't. I thought of it after I had those other two already cut out. I'm like, oh, that would have been good. Okay. And we're just going to put this right underneath here. Yep. High. There we go. And there is our front of our card with the sentiment. Okay. I'm going to want to do Wink of Stella on the flower. Let me get rid of this. Put it on my board here. Okay. Let's do the inside. And I had that piece of paper here. I got to see what I did on mine. Okay. And the red. We need the mossy meadow. I need some black. And like our little sentiment here. I think, did I do that in red? No, I did it in blue, didn't I? Yep, I did it in Secret Sea. Okay, let's do the Secret Sea verse first.